Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And what I have here is my new little Kinter um, stereo amplifier. This is typically used in a vehicle. It requires 12 volts input, and it puts out 20 watts per channel. It's the model MA170. I showed you this in a couple shows ago, and I have it working now. And the concept was to get a small amplifier. 20 watts is more than enough. Put it on this shelf back here excuse me, so I can use it for testing shortwave radios, scanner radios, whatever. Give me a little more amplification than the radio itself can do, but I wanted to keep it compact. Now what I've done in the past is I've gotten these used. Usually there's something wrong with them, so little systems, and use them as long as they had an auxiliary input. Well, the problem is with these types of systems, they don't put out much power. They only put out about 2 or 3 watts. So if you got some ambient noise like I typically do in the summertime in my workshop, that'll overwhelm it. So that's why I was looking for a little more power, not a great deal of power, and something that was nice and small. So I got this hooked up now. It's hooked up temporarily to this power supply right here, which provides 13.8 volts, which is what it needs. It needs 12 volts or something thereabouts. And I have the output of this little compact system via this headphones jack going to the back and the input of this little amplifier. I disconnected the speakers from this guy and I've hooked them to this guy. So this guy is driving these Craig speakers. They're still a little too big. I was hoping for something about half this size, again, so that I can stick in that little spot right there on my workbench. But I wanted to set it up to see if it's practical. Now, there was some concern, and one of my viewers also told me about this, is that maybe the impedance of these speakers won't match the little amplifier and there'll be distortion. Well, I got it set up, so we're going to see. So let me turn on the amplifier. Again, this was only $9.98 on Amazon. If you have a Prime account, it's free shipping. I don't know if it'll show up too well, but it has a set of LEDs around the volume control, which is right here. And depending on the volume, no, I take that back. It's not depending on the volume. It randomly changes the color on the display. I could turn the lights off and show you that later. So we're going to turn on this little system, which I think I got the headphones output coming to the amplifier, and then I'm using these speakers with this amplifier. So this unit here, it doesn't have any speakers connected to it. Okay, so we'll turn it on.
Compensation to the tune of $3.8 million. More business news coming up on the Marketplace Morning Report in about 8 minutes.
Working
Support
perfect.
for WUSF comes from our members. Each of us has the potential to impact a person, a cause, a community. For more than 35 years, the Community Foundation of Sarasota County has helped donors create lasting impact.
That was the volume setting at about halfway, and it was actually too loud for me. So if I turn it back up.
Educating couples about collaborative divorce, the smart, private, sensible alternative to divorce court. Local, trained, collaborative divorce professionals.
That's more than loud enough to overcome the noise from a fan or the air conditioner. So it's working. It does have bass and treble controls. They don't change that much, but you can tell it does change the audio. And it seems to be working fine. I don't have a current meter in line, so I don't know how much power it's drawing, depending on the volume, of course. So I think it's working fine with these speakers that are not necessarily made for this amplifier. And doesn't seem to be any distortion. I'm not going to, well, let me play some music just for a microsecond here because I don't want to get any copyright violations. Let me tune this. Gosh, I gotta remember how to tune this thing. Okay, here we go. So it's searching right now, and that's not music. That's probably music. So let me turn the volume up and see what's happening. Okay, so I turned it up fairly high, about half scale on this particular knob, which not really meaningful of anything. And it was plenty loud. Matter of fact, it was too loud, and there was no distortion whatsoever. Clear, very clear, at least to my ears. So it seems to be working, and it's doing exactly what I want. Now I really need to find some smaller speakers, probably about half the height and maybe even narrower, to fit up in someplace in that mess up there. And then I need to set up a couple of cables or whatever so I can easily attach it to things. I'm using this particular cable right now. This is a stereo 3.5 millimeter cable. The back of the amplifier requires RCA cables, two individual cables, and then the speaker connections are just wire connections. So there's no connectors per se on the back of this thing. And then I'm using, just for the experiment, I'm using a power adapter that I stole off of a power cube that failed, and it has multiple pin. Let me turn this off and I'll show you. Okay, it has multiple outputs, so it can be adapted for many things. So what I need to do is find another power adapter, wall wart I call them, that has this right here, this particular connector on it, and so that I don't have all this stuff hanging out, because these all can short out. So that's the problem there. And then wire that to this power supply that I'm not using right now, or the one below it. Either one. I've got several of these little power supplies. I'm going to also connect it to my laboratory supply, which has a built-in current meter, so I can kind of see what power it needs, and possibly even a wall wart power supply will work and not create any noise. That's the problem with those things. They create a lot of noise. So we'll see how that works out. So I think this is a success. Does seem to work with these speakers. I'm going to try to find some other speakers. One of my viewers suggested some Yamaha speakers. See if I can find some of those. If they're smaller, I need to check the dimensions on them because I want something smaller. Similar to these speakers you see that are made specifically for computers that sit on your desk, and they're only about half this high and a little bit more narrower. So that's it. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, that would be a cool thing to do. That really helps me if you subscribe to my channel. Plus, it helps you because there is an option when you subscribe that you can have an email sent to you as soon as I post a new video. So that's cool too. That works both ways. Also, I want to thank everybody that's been using my Amazon store to purchase things. That's how I buy things like this, is you purchase things through my Amazon store. I get a small credit on Amazon, and then I can purchase things to review, such as this thing right here. So that's about it. I hope you have a great day, and we're going to be setting this thing up, hopefully with some new speakers, or not new speakers. I don't hardly ever buy anything new. This I did buy new. It's only $10. But so we find some speakers on eBay that are much smaller that work just as good. Bye-bye.